Hello again, viewers. This is Bevan with Know Your Role Entertainment. Just recently got my Kickstarter copy of Galaxy Hunters. This is a game published by IDW Games, so I figured let's do the unboxing. Alright, let's jump in. So here's the Galaxy Hunters main box. IDW Games is the publisher. Daniel Alves is the designer. So let's dive right in. Okay, so first things is a rulebook. I'm going to have to sit and read this. I do know that the game is a worker placement game, but that's pretty much all I know. I have to sit and read the rulebook first. Marianne Networks Resource Management Solutions. Looks like a resource tracker. There's 4 here, so I'm guessing 1 for each player. Again, that touch of keeping everything in universe is really cool. Some tokens, hexagonal tokens, and then some round tokens as well. I'm guessing the round tokens fit on that resource tracker page. Then we get to the board. Oh, this board's a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. Let's get it around the tripod legs. Okay, so the board is here. We've got some sections on the side with symbols on them. My guess is for different abilities or whatnot. We've got some, looks like card sections, some tile sections printed on the board for various things. And then, of course, the planets. Looks like all the planets have these hexagonal spots. My guess is this is where you actually put your worker placement people on there, because they are limited. Like, for example, this one right in the center, Arcadia Portal. This one has 2+ people, this one has 3+ people, this one has 4+ people. So my guess is if you're only playing with 2 players, then you're only going to be able to go to this one, and these 2 are going to be cut off. This symbol, I'm not entirely sure what that's going to be for. I do see a match of it over here on what's called the reputation track. So maybe that unlocks when you deal with something on the reputation track. Not entirely sure. Kind of interesting. We'll have to take a look. So that's the board. And then, of course, the tray that holds everything in. Let's see if this tray is designed well. It does look like it's got notches for everything. I know that this is going to be your main player character, so these big multi-hex tiles. I like how each of them are, they're not just cosmetic differences. There's these check marks here on the side. This one's got them in like positions 1 and 4. This one's got it in positions 1 and 2. It also has differences with these cube, my guess is different resources that are going to be important depending on how you want to play. I also know that the pilot cards are these nice little nifty things, and they've got different abilities. And I know that you take your mech card and you put it next to the pilot card, and that forms your character for the game. I'm noticing that these check marks are next to these particular powers, so my guess is out of the 4 powers that a pilot may have, only 2 are active based on the mech that they decide to fly. We've got a bunch of hex tiles. Those are nice and chunky. Not entirely sure what they do yet, but considering what the aesthetic for all the hexagons is for the player characters, you probably attach those to the side to make different power-ups going on. Of course, the 4 mechs in nice, decent, deep wells. Mech quality is a little bit lower than I was hoping. I mean, here's a small gaff from the molding and all that type of stuff. Nothing that can't be repaired, but I was hoping for a little bit more detail. There's the second guy. Third guy. This one just got wrist arm cannons. Then 4th guy with a nice big chunky rifle. Then we've got the wooden ships. My guess is these are actually going to be the worker placement characters for each player. And then, of course, marker tokens. Probably going on that reputation track if I had to make a guess. I do like that the insert has nice deep wells to keep everything organized. Cubes. These must... Yeah, okay, so you've got your mech and you've got these. These cubes obviously have to go on there and figure out what you're going to be doing with them. And then finally a deck of cards. We'll open that up later. So overall, everything looks clean and nice in here. It's definitely going to be something that I'm going to have to dive into the rulebook and see how everything works out. But yeah, so far, call me excited. Along with the main game, I also picked up the expansion pack for Galaxy Hunters, entitled New Ways to Hunt. Also, the same way as the main box, it does have the neat technical info that keeps it grounded in the universe that it's trying to portray. Let's open it up and see what's in here. And of course, we got a little rule book. Ooh, dice. Okay, that's interesting. There were no dice in the main game, so I know that a lot of worker placement Euro-style games try to mitigate the use of dice as much, but still have to have some random factor in it. This kind of turns it back into more of an American-style chuck dice and see what damage you actually get from introducing that extra random element. So it's kind of interesting. I'll have to see if checking the dice is more fun than playing the base game by itself. Another resource board. That's right, they were saying that the New Ways to Hunt also included everything that you needed for a 5th player so that you can play with that extra player, which I like because I have a large gaming group. These are big ambassador tokens. Not sure what they do, but probably going to be important. And then we've got the tray. New mech, the Iron Smoker. Kind of looks like a stormtrooper. Definitely not going to paint him like that. Whenever I try painting stuff, I try to actually make it as close to the actual artwork as possible. New pilot. So we'll have to see how that interacts with the rest of the game. And then we also have this part. This is the main reason for the New Ways to Hunt. So the way that I understand it is you take your mech, and now this sits on the right hand side and your player sits on the left, so now you have this full dashboard in order to play. Kind of interesting. We'll have to see how it works. And then, of course, they have the dice. These dice are very similar to another game by IDW, the Adventures Universal Game System, where they have 1 hits, 2 hits, and then skulls, I assume, are going to be misses. Purple! Hey, this is awesome. Purple is one of my wife's favorite colors. That may actually end up in the main box so that she can play purple all the time. More cubes, and then, of course, more hexes to add to the base game. Definitely interesting. We'll have to see how it works once we get it on the table. Obviously, we have the stretch goals box because we got this off of Kickstarter. I do like that this stretch goals box is not a pure plain white box. It does have the logo and everything on it, so it should be easy to find. It does have the logo on the sides as well, so I can find it in my collection. I have had Kickstarter ones where it's just a plain white box with nothing on it, and it's really hard to remember. Is that part of that game or that game? Anyway, let's take a look at what's inside the stretch goals. Now again, these are Kickstarter exclusives. Another rule book. Oh, it's more of a rule pamphlet, so just explaining what the new add-ons were. Looks like they added in corporation cards. Other than that, it's just some equipment and some new pilots. And that's actually what I like about stretch goals sometimes. There are Kickstarters that have the stretch goals where it is a significant chunk of the game and they took it out to make the stretch goals. And so if you don't have the stretch goal pieces, you're looking at the board and going, well, what's that section? Oh, don't worry about that section. That's only for Kickstarters. Well, that ain't cool. So this just being extra goodies is, in my opinion, a better way of doing stretch goals. So, more tokens. this open. Maybe. There it goes. So the ambassador cards, we'll have to see what those actually do in game. More mission cards. More gear stuff. Again, nothing that is jumping out as critical missing pieces from the core game. For mechs, wait a minute. Yeah, that one's kind of obvious what it's based off of, but, you know, that's not bad. We'll have to see what that one plays as specifically. And then, of course, 4 new pilots, all with different special abilities, so we'll have to see how those work. And then 4 more mech models. It's going to be pretty interesting, pretty nice to paint. All of those, and then we'll see what they look like getting out on the table. Well guys, that was Galaxy Hunters unboxing. I am a big fan of worker placement style games. This one definitely looks a bit more interesting. Most worker placement games kind of have a farming theme to them. So a theme of giant robots kicking the crap out of monsters is definitely different. I'm looking forward to getting this put on the table. Look forward for that review soon. Well, thanks again for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please make sure that you get that YouTube algorithm enjoying our channel, of course, by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thanks again, and I hope to get another video up soon. Bye!